very big way. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So I thought I would go live this morning and answer any questions that people have about attraction marketing versus chasing. You know by now that I'm a huge believer in attraction marketing. I have built a business beyond my wildest dreams without doing cold calling, without buying leads, without having to do things that don't really align with my personality. I would so much rather do a live stream, make a YouTube video, put my content out into the world and have people find it. And then if they resonate with my personality and they want to do business with me, they can contact me. This has been literally the best thing that I have ever done in the 19 years now that I've been in real estate agent. My 19-year anniversary is coming up. I think it's next month. So attraction marketing absolutely works. And come August, the way that we do business is going to change substantially. So how can you use attraction marketing in your own business? You want to start thinking about who is the ideal client that you want to work with? Yes, you can serve anyone. You can work with anyone who is legally able to enter into a binding contract and buy or sell a house in any of the area that you service. Yes, you can do that. Is that the most effective way to reach people? No, it is not. It is so much more effective to have a particular specialty, a niche. Don't make me niche slap you. Thank you, Alex Hormozy, for letting me steal that line. That's the best line ever. If you have something that you are known for, it makes people want to hire you because you are the go-to expert. When I became a coach back in 2018, I specialized in YouTube. I'd never talk about Instagram. I never talk about TikTok. I never talk about Reels. I never talk about Facebook Lives. I don't talk about any of that stuff. I talk about YouTube. Why? Because A, this is my favorite platform. This is where I spend all of my time. This is where I have the most success. But B, because I want to be known for one specific thing, not someone who is a jack of all trades. And you can do the exact same thing for your real estate business. When I created my YouTube channel for people that wanted to move to Georgia, they are in the military, they're being transferred here, they're going to Hunter Army Airfield or Fort Stewart. I made videos speaking to those people. I didn't try to talk to everybody about every different type of transaction. I talked to one specific person with my YouTube channel, and that has been extremely effective. I coach agents all day long, and whenever they say I've been making videos for a very long time and I'm not getting any business from it, it's usually because they did not niche down. They did not have a specialty. So how do I see the chat in here? Here we go. I have never gone live from my phone before. This is all new for me. Usually I go live from my computer, but lately I've been watching live streams on my phone. And I love how when you go live from your phone, people can expand it and make it vertical on their phone. So I thought, what the heck, let's try it. So if you have any questions, let me know. Chasing business absolutely works. You can get a ton of business by chasing it. You can get business from buying leads. You can get business from cold calling. You can get business from running expensive ads. You can do all of those things. But how effective is it? How much does it cost you? What does it make your profit margin? But most importantly, are those the type of clients that you enjoy working with? Let's say you buy leads from one of the portals and you get someone who is only interested in hiring the agent who's going to do it for the least amount of money. That's not a client that I really care to go out of my way to work with. I don't want someone that I have to convince them of the value that I bring to the transaction, to convince them of the skill set that I have, to convince them that I'm knowledgeable because I've been licensed for 19 years, to convince them any of those things. I don't want to go out of my way looking for people who don't inherently see the value of hiring a realtor. And you know that this is what the public thinks right now. We are seeing comments all over social media on mainstream headlines when the newspaper says something and then you read the comments down below it from everybody that read the article. They don't have a lot of good things to say about, am I real or AI? No, I'm real. So, wow, do you think that my skin looks so amazing that I look AI? Bless you, you're my new best friend. No, I am absolutely real, but thank you for asking. Where was I? Yeah, when we work with people that we have to convince them why we are worth hiring, it seems to me like an adversarial relationship from the very beginning, which I don't really want to do. Coffee time, y'all. It is 8:48 here in Savannah, Georgia. I am going to have to put my glasses on to read the chat. I do not want to have to try to convince someone, hey, instead of doing FISBO, you should hire a realtor. And I am the best person for the job. And now I'm going to bombard you with all of the reasons why that is. You can do it for sure, and it will work sometimes, but there are a lot of people that they have a bad taste in their mouth about real estate right now. They've read all of the headlines. They've heard things that people have said that, in my opinion, are 100% false. Like, I just wanted to cringe when the president said, for the first time in history, buyers and sellers are now able to negotiate their commission. That is 100% false. That is not true. That is not true and has never been true as long as I've been in real estate. And I'm sure for many, 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 many years prior to that, that has never been true. But when an authority figure says that publicly and people hear it, they believe it. So now they think, oh, I could negotiate my commission. I'm going to just negotiate that I'll pay you anything. So instead, how can we attract business? How can we attract clients that already know who you are? They like you, they trust you, they see your value, they want to hire someone because they realize that they don't necessarily have the expertise to be able to do it themselves. There are a lot of people who think that they do. And God bless you if you think real estate is so simple that you can just go out and represent yourself, whether you are listing or selling or buying. If you think that it's that easy, I would invite you to try and then report back and tell me how easy that was. I can list story after story after story of crazy shit that has happened in real estate since I've been licensed. And it seems like the deals where it went smoothly and flawlessly and there were no problems are few and far between. And the ones where everything went to, it was just a giant cluster are few and far between. And the vast majority of transactions are somewhere in the middle. Something went wrong. They're the ones that just go up in flames where I had a listing once where the buyer co-signed on his brother's car loan and had no idea that that was going to negatively affect his credit. And then when they pulled his credit 3 days before closing to verify the loan, they're like, what? You just co-signed on someone else's car loan? You no longer qualify for this mortgage. Stuff like that happens, right? It's not fun. Do government demand commissions from you in black? I don't see the whole comment. I'm not really sure what that means. Sorry. So yeah, transactions often have something that goes wrong. It is really not as easy as people think that it is. If they want to do it themselves, they have always been able to. No one has ever said you must hire a real estate agent. You must hire a realtor. No one has ever said that. You've always been able to do it yourself as a consumer. But I would prefer to attract people who already see that realtors have value and want to hire someone, and specifically want to hire me. So I thought that I would talk about getting prepared for August. If you are not currently doing buyer representation agreements and you are not doing buyer preparation presentations, what are you doing? You've got to do this. I've been doing this for years and years and years now, so this is not going to change anything for me. You need to be able to have a conversation with a potential buyer. This is what I do for you. This is how I can help you. This is what I will do to make sure that you achieve your goals, that you buy a house that is suitable for you. It has the features, it has the price, it has the terms, it has all of the things. I'm going to help you. I'm going to make it as smooth as possible. I'm going to give you my best guidance. I'm going to give you all of my best tricks when we are competing in a multiple offer situation. I'm going to do whatever I can to negotiate to get as much paid for you by the seller as possible so that you are coming out of pocket as little as possible. And I put that all together in a formal presentation. It's nothing super wazoo. It's made in Canva. It is a slide presentation, but I do this with every single prospective buyer that I come into contact with. If I don't meet them in person and do this on my computer sitting there right in front of them or on my iPad, then I do it over Zoom. We do it virtually, but I give every single client this presentation and they must sign on the dotted line before we start going to look at houses. I do not recommend ever, and now you can't anymore, that you would put someone in your car and drive them around for the entire weekend showing them properties and then have them say, oh, I'm not going to buy after all. Or, oh, I walked into a model home and I found so and so, so I wrote the offer with them instead. It's always been a bad idea to operate business that way, but now you can't. So if the idea of giving a buyer presentation is giving you a little bit of heart palpitations, you've got to figure out how to get comfortable doing that, because 3 months from now, this is going to be how you are, it's our standard operating procedure. Do you feel confident having a conversation like that? If not, why not? Why not? You need to do some real soul searching and say, why do I think that I am not worthy of having a buyer commit to working with me exclusively? If I went to a seller and I took a listing, I would not hire a photographer and hire a drone videographer and bring in the stager at my expense and do all of those things without having a signed listing agreement. So why would we do that for a buyer? It's the same thing. The actual tasks that we're doing is different. This one involves more time than money. This one involves more money, but it's still a specific list of tasks that you are going to do on behalf of your client, and you wouldn't do it unless you had it in writing. So if you don't feel confident asking them to sign that document, why do you think that is? Maybe that's worth doing a little bit of soul searching, doing a little bit of journaling and asking, why am I afraid to ask them to sign it? In my coaching program, we talk about this all the time. After the proposed settlement was dropped on March 15th, I went live in our community and I said, I'm going to show you exactly how I do my buyer presentation. And I did it live for my coaching community. We did it over Zoom, but I showed them exactly what my presentation was. I shared the presentation with them so that they could use it and modify it to their heart's content. But I gave my presentation and people could hear the certainty in my voice. They could see that I was 100% sure of what I brought to the table and why I was worth hiring. And if the buyer doesn't want to hire me at the end of that presentation, that's fine. But how did the buyer find you? When they find you from your YouTube channel, they've pretty much already decided to hire you. So it's a very, very simple conversion process. When a buyer calls me and says, oh my gosh, I can't believe you answered the phone. I watch all of your YouTube videos. I feel like I know who you are. Like, we're going to buy a house and I want you to help me. And then I give them this presentation. When I get to the end and say, so what do you think? Do you want to work together? Do you think this is a good fit? And they say yes, and I say, fantastic, sign here, let's get started. It's a very simple conversion process. I don't feel weird, I don't feel salesy, I don't feel like I'm forcing them to make a decision. The very rare occasions where somebody said, oh, you know, I bought a lot of homes in my life and I've never had to sign any document before. I say, yeah, I understand. A lot of people don't like to have this document signed, usually because they're very, very hungry for business. And so they don't want you to sign it because they're afraid you'll say no and you'll walk away. But for me, I'm very much in demand. You found me from my YouTube channel. I get so much business from my YouTube channel. I have to prioritize my time, and I have chosen to only work with clients and not customers. And then I explain to them what the difference is between a customer and a client and say, I just don't have the bandwidth to be able to work with customers who are not willing to commit to me exclusively. So if you're not ready to sign this, I fully respect your decision. It's fine. I'm not going to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. But that also means that I won't be able to work with you. So if you'd like me to refer you to somebody else, I would be happy to do that. Like, would you prefer a male or a female? And that usually makes them, what? You're seriously going to tell me no and turn me away? And I say, yeah, because there's only so many hours in the day. There are only so many hours in a week. I'm not willing to work all of them. I would like to sleep and eat and see my family and take time off. I am not willing to devote time, effort, and resources to people that have not decided to hire me. So if you want to hire me, great. This is how we do it. And if you don't, that's cool too. I think I've only had 2 people ever refuse to sign that document. It's not that hard. Yes. And Misty, and time is money. I always work with a buyer agreement. Yes. I have for years and years and years and years. So when they said this was going to be happening, and so many people told me they've never done it before, I was like, what? How long have you been licensed? 15 years and you've never done a buyer presentation? They're like, nope. We just have them sign it when we are writing the offer on the house. And I just think that that is so dangerous because and back early in my career when I did not do this because I was of the same scarcity mindset. I was afraid to ask for them to sign it because realtors were a dime a dozen where I lived in Northern California, and I thought they're going to say no and they're going to walk away and then I'll have nobody to work with. So maybe if I just keep taking them out over and over again, showing them properties, they will grow to like me and see that I know what I'm talking about and then eventually put it in writing and hire me. But there were so many times where they didn't. They just said, yeah, we walked into a model home, we wrote an offer with the sales agent. We went into an open house, we wrote an offer with the guy that was hosting the open house. And that was 100% my fault because I allowed that to happen. I didn't explain to them, if you go into an open house, say this. If you go into a model home, say this. You need to commit to working with me exclusively, or I'm not putting $4 a gallon gas in my car to drive you around. And yes, that's how much gas was in California. I don't know what it is now in California. Jeez, I feel sorry for you guys that live there. But $4 a gallon back in like 2007, 8, that was tough. And to then not ever get a transaction at the end after working with a client for weeks and weeks or months and months. How many offers, right? It's tough. So you want to make sure that you are getting them to agree to work with you exclusively. And hands down, the easiest way for that to happen is with YouTube videos. So if you're not currently making YouTube videos, I want you to consider starting. People get to know you. They like your personality if they keep watching the videos. So if they watch you and they're like, I don't like this person at all, they're not jiving with me, they will leave and they will never come back, and that's perfectly fine. We don't need every single person in the world to love us, and we don't need every single person to hire us. We don't need 100% of the market share, right? So if they keep watching, they get to know you, they hear you say things, they like your delivery, they like your expertise, they like that you know what you're talking about. Maybe they see something in you that they identify in themselves. Maybe they say, oh, she's got a good sense of humor and I like that. Or they say, oh, she's a coffee drinker, I'm a coffee drinker too. Or they see that you have a guitar like mounted on the wall behind you and they're like, oh, I'm a guitar player too. Or something that just makes them identify with you, connect with you somehow, and they start to feel drawn to you. By the time they call you, they have chosen you. Rarely are they interviewing other agents. By the time they call you, they've pretty much decided that you are the one for them. They are hands down the best clients that I've ever gotten in 19 years of being in real estate. The clients I get from YouTube, hands down the best. Yeah. Oh, El Duderino. Okay, best YouTube name ever. The El Duderino. I love it. After a couple of years of excuses and hesitation, I'm finally publishing my first video this weekend. That is so exciting. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you, how long is that video? Because I did a post on here, or it was either earlier this week or maybe about a week ago. I said, do you know which works better for your channels, longer videos or shorter videos? And how do you know? And about half of the people said, I have no idea whether longer or shorter videos work, and I don't even know how to tell. And a little less than half, I think it was like 47 and 53%. It was a pretty close split. But I thought, wow, if you don't know how to tell whether longer videos or shorter videos work better for you, that's something you're going to want to pay attention to. So it's going to take a while. Your channel is brand new. You're publishing your first video. You're not going to get a lot of data at first. And this is good. So this is what happens for everybody. They post their first video. They are all excited. They think they're going to get 300 views and it's crickets. They get like 7 views. It's totally normal. The YouTube algorithm sees you as a brand new channel. It doesn't really know what you're about yet. It doesn't know what you talk about. It doesn't know if you're real, if you're a bot, if you're AI generated, if you are trying to help people or you're trying to scam people. It doesn't really know anything about you yet. So when you put that video out, you're gonna get hardly any views on it, and that's fine. Because if it's taken you a long time to publish this first video, it probably means that you're not super confident in your ability to be on video yet. And so we don't necessarily want hundreds of people watching us suck royally on camera. So if you don't get a lot of views, it's totally okay. I want you to look at it as this is an experiment. I am experimenting with these first 10 videos that I do. This is all one giant experiment to see what people like, what topics they like, how do I like filming. Right now I am sitting on my couch filming on my phone, but normally I film on the webcam sitting at my desk. Do I like this better? Does this make me feel more comfortable? Am I like all weirded out because my face is super close to the camera screen? You're experimenting, you're trying different things, and you will gradually start to make momentum. You will start to get more people that watch the videos. You will start to be able to gather more data. And this is huge. So many people have YouTube channels, but they don't ever look at their data. You want to go in and look at YouTube analytics. And there's a way that you can make groups. This is my favorite thing in the world to do. You go into analytics and you make groups. So let's say I make one group of videos that are under 4 minutes long, and I make one group of videos that is 4 to 8 minutes long, and I make another group of videos that is 8 minutes and longer. If you have several videos in each category, you can then compare them. And for me, the numbers are always staggering. So if you want to know which ones work better for shorter or longer, tell me in the comments and I will reveal what works better on my strategy on my channel, because it's super effective and it's clear as day which one works better than the other. So you're going to start gathering all of this data from the videos that you put out. You're going to start to learn what is easier for you. I am a huge believer in doing as little work as possible and have it still be effective. Why? Because you are not Mr. Beast. You are not trying to create a full-time YouTube career. You don't want to quit real estate. I mean, maybe you do, and if you want to, that's totally cool. But most of us are not planning to quit real estate and become full-time YouTubers so that we can just travel around the world filming content and get paid for it. Most people are doing this as an asset for their business. This is a business building asset. It is a repository of videos that attract clients to you forever and ever, amen. Like, I get leads from videos that I made 6-7 years ago every single week. It's crazy. So I am looking at this as an asset to build my pipeline and fill my database with people who are in the market to do a transaction in the foreseeable future, not just prospects, not just people that I know that have a name and an email address and a phone number. So now they're in my database. I have their contact information, but that doesn't mean that they want to do a transaction anytime soon. I want to fill my database with people that are actively looking to do a transaction in the foreseeable future, not only prospects, not just my sphere. And when I do that over and over and over again by making these YouTube videos, it's super, super effective. I love it. Okay. The first one is 16 minutes long. Amazing. Good for you. So many people have a really hard time making longer videos. I don't know why. I'm not one of those people that has a hard time talking. Like, as you can see, I can talk with no problem whatsoever, and I don't have a script and I don't have any notes. I wrote down a couple of bullet points that I wanted to talk about, and I've never looked at my notes again, and my iPad turned off, so now it's black and I can't even see what it is. But there are a lot of people that think I could never talk for 8 minutes. You can. You totally can. You just have to make a plan. You have to know what you're going to talk about first, right? Okay, cool. And then the rest that I have are ready from 12 to 24 minutes. That's amazing. That's amazing. Of course, I want to know is which works best for you. Cool. Isn't it true that people couldn't negotiate commission? No, it isn't true. However, you said it isn't true. However, it is absolutely true that the MLS has been used as a threat to sellers, that buyers won't see their houses without it. And that could very well be true. And I'm not going to debate that point right now. That's not the purpose of this live. The purpose of this live is to talk to you about how can you attract clients easily, effectively, and in a way that doesn't break the bank. And in my opinion, it's 100% YouTube. So when I made those groups and I looked at the length of my videos, the ones that were over 8 minutes long got 3 to 4 times as many views as the ones that were shorter. It is clear as day that the YouTube algorithm wants to see longer videos. How many of these, do you guys see like Diary of a CEO showing up in your newsfeed all the time? Whenever I go to just youtube.com, what's on my homepage, on my newsfeed, those interviews that are like an hour and a half, 2.5 hours long, they're showing up a ton. It's basically like a video podcast episode, and they are ridiculously long. I'm talking over an hour most of the time, at least 45 minutes, but usually well over an hour. Those are getting a lot of love from YouTube right now. They want you to show longer videos. Why? Because YouTube is all about watch time. We want people to come to the YouTube platform and then stay there a long time because they're having such a good time. They're watching videos that they enjoy, that they engage with. And if you can effectively show YouTube, not only do I get people to start a session, so they come to the app, they start watching the very first video, they stay there for a very long time, and that you were the person that caused them to start that session, they will put your videos out before a lot more people. They will say, let's promote it to these people first. Let's put it out in front of your existing subscribers. They respond to it very well. Okay, cool. Let's show it to more people. Oh, those people clicked and they watched it as well. Okay, cool. Let's show it to more people. And the more people respond to the videos favorably, the more love it gets shown. The more people it will be surfaced to so that you can get more views. Because YouTube is giving it what you want, which is more views and hopefully more subscribers and more leads and more clients, because you're giving YouTube what it wants, which is bringing people to the platform, starting a new session and staying there and watching videos for a long time. Cool. All right. Y'all, it stinks not being able to read without glasses. Cool, cool, cool. Yes. So longer videos are definitely working better right now on YouTube. If you feel like that is a real stretch for you, you just don't see how you could do that, I want to invite you to a free 3-day boot camp that I am doing next week for real estate agents. I'm going to put the link in the description below. It's called the Video Boss Boot Camp. It is for realtors and loan officers. Occasionally I get like a title and escrow person, but the vast majority of them are real estate agents. We're going to talk for 3 days about building a YouTube video that will bring you new business. So if all of this is a foreign concept to you, or if you've had a YouTube channel for quite some time and it's not bringing you any clients, I want to invite you to come join me. It's totally for free. It starts on Tuesday, May 14th. I'm going to go live for an hour each day. I'm going to teach you how to take your YouTube channel and build it into this asset building machine that brings you clients while you're sleeping on autopilot for years and years and years to come. It's hands down the best return on time spent of any platform that I've ever been on. When I make a video and I put it out on YouTube, I get business from it years down the road. Can you say that about your Instagram Reel? Can you say that about your TikTok? If you can, amazing, you're doing something right. But for me, I cannot. So I prefer to make YouTube my platform of choice because I know that it will. In fact, I have a listing appointment tomorrow from somebody who found me from a video that I made probably 3 years ago. So I think I moved into this house in 2020. I made that video in 2021, and now it's 2024. And she called and said, I want to sell my house. Will you come over and tell me what it's worth? So I'm going to do that tomorrow from a 3-year-old YouTube video. I'm telling you, this works. So if you want to learn more about YouTube, come and join me at the Video Boss Bootcamp, and I hope to see you there next Tuesday. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.